Welcome back. Now that we're out of the single-digit temperatures and into the balmy 30s for now, we have officially reached the winter-spring crossover season as well.
The two big words there being for now. Both lacrosse teams have started their seasons. The men wrapping up a road trip down in North Carolina last weekend. The women, however, they were in action this morning. Fresh highlights for you on Catamount Corner. We checked with our historians. This is the first ever day of highlights in Catamount Corner history. Remember where you were for this moment. Catamount's taken on Iona, and they got off to a quick start. 6 goals in the opening quarter. They'd eventually go ahead 7-0. Karina Sethi would score here to open the second. That would be their lone goal in both the second and the third quarters. All the way into the fourth, Lydia Doraz makes it 8-3. She had a pair of tallies on the day. But how about goalie Ayla Shea, the Fairfax native, making her second career start? She made 9 saves in the game, only surrendering 5 goals. 9 saves is a career high for her. The Cats only 1 goal in the second half, but Shea and the defense's performance more than good enough to hang on for the 8-5 home victory.
Well, it's really easy to make saves when you have such a good defense in front of you. I think that they make contact and really pressure out on teams, so they give me shots that are easily savable.
I love it. I mean, I'm a local myself, so I think it's great when we can keep a Vermonter here and they can do well at this level and show all the other young kids, what lacrosse is like at UVM.
Cats kicked off a string of 6 consecutive home games today. Next up Saturday morning against Marist. A 10 a.m. start there. Siena will make a trip up to Burlington, and then LIU, followed by Villanova, and then Fairfield. The Catamounts faced all of those teams except Villanova just last season, and the next game up after that is their conference opener against Bryant.
Meanwhile, the men's lacrosse team split its season opening road trip down in North Carolina this past weekend. They cruised past the Royals of Queens on Friday, 17-8, before falling at number 9 Duke on Sunday by the final 22-6. A couple of Catamounts brought in weekly awards for their individual performances. Walter Zhao claiming the conference's face-off specialist of the week award. Zach Toll named the rookie of the week. The Cats done traveling too far. They will get a little bit of comfort for a pair of home games over the next couple of weeks. So let's take a look at that. They're going to open the home portion of their schedule also on Saturday. They're going to welcome in the Big Green of Dartmouth. They'll return to Virtue the following week to host Quinnipiac, and then a road trip at UMass, the last thing standing between the Cats and their conference opener. That's going to be a home game against UMBC on March 14th.
Men's hoops team absolutely rolled past Bryant on Saturday to win its 3rd game in a row and stay locked into 3rd place in America East. The Cats 2.5 games clear of Lowell, who is in 4th, half game behind UMBC in 2nd, and just 1 game behind 1st place NJIT. Vermont's next 2 opponents, UMBC and NJIT, in that order. As they start to round into form down the stretch, Catamounts have a prime chance to take at least partial control of 1st place should they go 2-0 this week.
Like I told the guys, we put ourselves in a position to play really meaningful games, at the end of the year here, jockeying for position. And we, our goals are to win championships here. And certainly the first big one is to secure the number 1 seed or try to get the number 1 seed. And so we're scratching and clawing to do that. And we'll have obviously we're going to have an opportunity to control our own destiny, down the stretch here.
Here's a look at the standings right now. As you can see, Vermont well within reach and with some cushion behind them. We could say it all day long. This is a massive week for seeding purposes. Both UMBC and NJIT will play UAlbany this week on the day they don't play Vermont, and they will play against each other in the last game of the regular season. This is going to be a very fun finish to league play.
Well, the women's team with a huge week this past weekend. They took down then first place Binghamton on Thursday at Patrick Gym, with guard Kira Hansen becoming the 27th Catamount to join the 1,000 career point club with the bucket in the first quarter. To follow that, the Cats would hang on to earn a road win over Bryant on Saturday, and with the Bearcats falling that same day, Vermont took over first place in the conference with just 3 games left on their regular season schedule. Just like that, the Cats in the driver's seat for yet another regular season conference title. Maine and Binghamton both losing on Saturday means if Vermont wins out, they will win the regular season crown. They have games against UMBC and JIT, who you can see are each in the top 5 right now, and also last place Lowell to round out that regular season slate on the road.
The men's hockey team swept by UMass Lowell over the weekend as the Cats currently sit in 10th place in Hockey East with 5 games left in the regular season, beginning this weekend with top of the league and top 10 nationally Providence. The Cats were outscored this weekend 9-4 in their lone 2 games since last facing PC. Head coach Steve Wheeler says being able to turn the page to the Friars is a bit more manageable considering how recently those 2 teams saw each other, but he did mention he wants their focus to be getting back to themselves first.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier because we don't have to refresh as hard. Like it wasn't a game that we played earlier in the season, but it's a big one. It's a big weekend. But before we get to Providence, we gotta really recalibrate ourselves and get back to what we do well, and that'll be the work that takes place on Monday and Tuesday.
Cats part of a very crowded table right now, 1 point clear of UNH in 10th, and just 5 points removed from Merrimack and Northeastern, who sit tied for 6th. With 5 games left, there are opportunities to make up some ground beginning this weekend against Providence, as I mentioned, first place Providence, and continuing the following weekend when the 6th place Warriors host the Cats before the regular season finale against Maine on March 7th.
Well, the women's hockey team saw some mixed results this weekend. The Cats went up to R&O. They got the extra point in the shootout over Maine. That was huge. That 1 point is now the difference between the Cats and Black Bears in the conference standings, and it is also the difference between a first-round bye or not. The Cats, though, however, dropped Sunday's tilt at home against Merrimack, missing out on potentially big points. For now, they are hanging on to that final spot in the quarterfinal round with 2 games to go.
Going into this game, we could have finished anywhere from 3rd to 9th. Now I know 3rd's out of place, 4th's out of place, I'm pretty sure. So, now all of a sudden we're back to fighting for our lives to stay out of a Wednesday play-in game. Every point matters, and it was just a big opportunity lost today.
As Jim mentioned, 4th place out of reach. The Cats mathematically still alive for the 5th spot currently occupied by UNH, but they're going to need some help. The good news is their final opponent of the season. So should Vermont get points against Holy Cross, they could put themselves in position to jump into that 5th spot if UNH falls to 3rd place BC on Friday. All those teams listed have 2 games remaining except for Maine, who only has 1.